Hey guys, this is the 2020 AP Statistics question that the College Board released. So I'm going to run through the answers really quickly and I won't take up too much time so you guys can just press the pause button and read the answers that I wrote. Okay, question 2. They said they didn't give a question 1, but it's similar to this, a little bit longer. Great, 5 minutes to submit, 15 minutes for this problem, and it's letters A through E. Students at an agriculture station conducted a study to compare genetically modified corn with regular corn. Each of 33 plots of land was divided into 2 half plots. Okay, so basically what you have here is one plot, and you're going to get the regular corn and the genetically modified corn. Okay, so each of the 33 plots of land was divided into 2 half plots. One half plot was randomly selected to be planted with GM, and the other one was regular corn. Here is your table. Now, one thing I want you guys to see is this third column that says difference. In other words, anytime you see that in a chart, that means that it's a match pair test. Okay, so they matched up each of the corn and they did their statistics, and this is what they gave you. Also, one other thing that I want you guys to see is these 5-number summary. That automatically means a box plot. Another thing that's very important in my opinion is N. N is really large. Well, not really large, but it's greater than 30. By the central limit theorem, as the numbers increase, we know that it's going to be more and more normal, or approximately normal, which will allow us to use a z-score if they ask a question. Now, if they do ask a question that requires probability and us to use the z-score, then we are going to need the mean and the standard deviation, okay? So they said the table shows summary statistics for the yields in bushels per acre and the difference in the yields, and they did GM minus regular, and that's basically if you put list 1 and list 2 and you made list 3 and you subtracted the 2. So I'm sure a lot of people did match pair test. I'm going to come back to letter A in 2 seconds, okay? Or maybe 5 minutes or 3. Let's see. I'm going to just jump into letter B because these are very quick. Students at an agriculture station conducted a study to compare this. Here is your numbers. It says based on the summary statistic, would it be more likely? So this point right here, would it be more likely? Automatically is asking you for a z-score, okay? Would it be more likely to obtain a yield of 123 or more bushels per acre from a plot of GM corn or a plot of regular corn? Justify your answer. So because once again we have this 33, we can run a z-score. I made this guy the genetically modified and this guy the regular corn. You guys can pause the video at any time, try it yourself. I actually used the graphing calculator, and here is your formula. Z equals x bar minus mu over sigma over the square root of n. Z equals x bar minus mu over sigma over the square root of n. And remind yourselves that you have to do GM has a different average than regular. Okay, you guys have to switch it. They also have different standard deviations. Okay, that's these guys. 33 stays the same, and the number, which is our question, 123 is there. You're going to press stat, test, z-test. You're going to go to number 1, and you're going to put in your information. You're going to use the greater than sign because it says more than, okay? And what you get here are these numbers down here. So let me get this black ink. Your z-score is negative 0.85095. Greater than gives you this. And then your z-score is 1.40. And greater than gives you this. So it is more likely that it's 0.8026, or it's more likely GM. Okay? So that's that. Let's go to letter C. It says describe the distribution of the differences given that this box plot happened. Now, anytime they want you to describe the distribution, you should try to come up with 4 points. Center, shape, spread, and then look for things with minimum, maximums, or outliers, okay? Everything must be in context, okay? People are outside cheering for our heroes. God bless, and sorry for the noise, but it's 7 o'clock. The average, so describe the difference of the distribution. So the average difference in the bushels was 4.536, while the median difference was 3.0. I just went here and I'm only looking, let me get rid of this. I'm only looking at this part right here, okay? Because you're talking about the difference. So first, I have my average and I have my median. That's that guy, okay? We also have Q1, negative 0.9, and Q3, 6.0. If you subtract and get the IQR, 6.0 minus a minus 0.9 would be 6.9. We also have the range, okay, which is the difference between 20.1 and negative 2.1. So we need to talk about center, shape, and spread. The average difference in the bushels was 4.536, while the median difference was 3.0. Because the average was greater than the median, remember that if your average is greater than the median, it's going to be skewed to the right. You can also tell that it's skewed to the right because you have this long guy. And remember, this guy, even though he's an outlier, he's part of the data. So it's all the way here, actually. So this whisker here is really long on the right side. Okay, so because the average was greater than the median, we know that the distribution skewed to the right. We can also see that the interquartile range, now we're getting to the spread. So we can also see that the interquartile range was 6.9 and the range was 22.2, showing a large variation or large variability. You can't just put the numbers without saying things like higher, smaller, bigger, and so on. We also notice in the box plot that there's an outlier. So that's what you have to do if you guys want a 5, okay? If you want a 4, then you'll leave out the outlier. If you want a 5, you include the outlier. If you want to talk about something with a min and a max, you should. The more, the better, okay? So that's letter C. I hope I'm not going too fast. Letter D and E are very, very simple. It says the student conducted a test of the hypothesis, and this is mu, okay? This is mu sub D. And basically, that's saying that they subtracted GM minus regular. And it says one of the conditions for the inference was that that was met is the sample size of the difference is greater than 30. Explain why this is necessary to satisfy the condition. Well, what I wrote here in the black ink was the central limit theorem states that the sampling distribution of the sample means approaches a normal distribution as the size gets larger. So in order to do this hypothesis test, guys, we need to make sure that the samples are random or randomly chosen or some sort of randomization, and then you need your n to be greater than 30 or 30 or higher, okay? So that's that. And then it says the test result in a p-value of 0.003. That's so tiny, it's smaller than any conventional alpha. It says based on the p-value, what conclusions should the students make? So I wrote, assuming HO is true, since the p-value 0.003 is less than either one you guys want, 0.01 or 0.05, we reject HO. We have evidence to suggest that there is a difference. In other words, you're going to say HA, that there is a difference in yield here in bushels per acre for plots similar to those used in the study, and so on. So that's how you do parts B through E. And now in part A, it says, explain why the yield from one type of corn are not independent of the yield from the other type of corn. I wrote, they are not independent because the plot of land is a variable that can affect the corn. The plot is divided into two parts, so the yields from one type of corn are not independent. That's what I think the answer is. That's what I would write. In order for two variables to be not independent, one has to have an effect on another, or there has to be something that affects something. So that's what I wrote. So slow down the video or press pause or do something, read my answers. I hope you guys do really, really well, and I hope this was helpful. And if you're looking on from a different school than a school in New York, good luck, stay safe, and subscribe to my channel. Help me out. Here you go.